All right, peace, love, and light, Gemini. This is just going to be your tarot reading for Gemini season. If you would like to book a personal reading with me or see more tarot, all of that information is, as always, in the description below. So go ahead and check that out by clicking the title. And while you're there, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So we are going to shuffle up our cards and say our prayer, and then we shall begin. So, dear the divine God, our Holy Father, Yahweh, and our angels, thank you for being the highest form of good in our lives, for keeping our heads on straight and straying us away from negativity as best as possible. And thank you to the angels for the assistance they have brought today and assistance they'll bring during this reading. Right now, I'm asking that you guys bless and protect this space as well as the viewers, and myself, to ground us in our energy, Lord, so that way we know what messages to receive, and to gift us the keen discernment to know what to do with the knowledge received as well. Please grant us the ability to keep our personal opinion and bias to the side if you so choose, the strength to continue on, and the clarity needed to focus. And anything else that you deem worthy for this reading, please allow us to be the vessels to receive and deliver. Amen. Ashe. All right. So let's go ahead and see what's going on for Gemini in Gemini season. We're going to do a little 3-card spread here. First card is the medicine wheel. Second card is the lower world in the challenge position. So that's what's currently going on in our lives. And then the third card is the heart of the sky. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently because I remember how I used to do my readings, and I feel like I should get back to that. So we got the medicine wheel in the reverse. The opposite of medicine, this is about toxicity. This is a sternness and this is like using some type of negative behavior to assert one's authority and putting emphasis on a person. Then we have the lower world in the challenge position. What I'm getting from here is pretty much hell, the depths of darkness and stuff. And then we have the heart of the sky in the reverse. And what I'm getting from this card is someone who wants to turn their back on another person because of how they assert their authority. I want to dig deeper into this world card to see what's going on there, because the world card in a challenge position is talking about hell. So this could be about how you were giving someone hell by asserting their authority, and it makes them want to leave you. This is the type of situation where it's like, I want to leave. I want to leave because of the way that you are, because of who you are or what you are. So Gemini, within your season, your toxic nature is making people want to leave the situation, especially with this 9 of Pentacles flying out. It's unfulfilling them. It's making people want to leave you, and it's not making people want to interact with you. But I really want to dig into what is the depths of this hell. What is this here for? What is this hell card here for? What is the lower world here for? What is this lower world? First things first is the 2 of Swords coming out in the upright with the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. This is a lesson that you need to learn. This is a stoic person. This person doesn't interact with too many people. This person would be a loner. Someone who isolates themselves, or rather seclude themselves, meaning that they are not very open to others and they cut people off. They only have a select group of people in their environment. You've learned the lesson to not interact with a lot of people. And I feel that it is your nature of not interacting with a lot of people that causes for you to be offensive to others in a way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm feeling like the type of offense that you are is like you're not really a good person. You're mean towards other people. This is someone who is mean towards people who are not in their select group of friends. You're very what is the opposite of being, because it's this type of behavior that I can feel, and it's like the opposite of being a nice person. Of course, that's a mean energy, but it's the opposite. Like, for example, someone asks you, hey, how's your day going? You're giving them one word answers. Someone tries to invite you to places, you're looking at them like they're crazy. You're not very nice to people, and this is just a mean character, and what you're only mean towards people who are not your selected friends. That's what's going on here. For some reason, I'm feeling led to read the world card. The lower world card. So we're going to read that. So the lower world holds the hidden treasures of humanity. It is a place of rich and fruit. Okay, never mind. They're telling me to read the invitation. So it is time to unearth your hidden treasures. Do not make yourself small in order for others to like or accept you. Bring out the gems and precious stones that you have kept inside your heart, hidden even from yourself. It's time to honor your past and recast your life as a heroic quest. As you journey into the lower world, you will be offered all the gifts of your ancestors. Their struggles, the way they hurt, the way they lived, and the way they died will become blessings. So this is letting me know that it's time for you to show who you are to the rest of the world. It's time for you to stop being mean towards people who are not your selected friends. It's time for you to open up and be more nice towards other people. It's time for you to show the version of you that you only show few, or the version of you that you keep secluded. Only a certain, when I say secluded, only a certain number of people is allowed to experience this version of you. But it's time for you to take that version and show it to the world. It's time for you to show it to other people. Once you do, many more people would like to stay around you, and many more people would like to interact with you. You become like a fantasy friend to have around, like a fulfiller of the fantasy of the perfect friend to have around. You become a nice person. You become a great person to interact with. So now I want to know, why is this medicine world card in the reverse? And that's mostly because of your character and your behavior of how you're interacting with other people. So the question now is, what is Gemini season going to do for the Gemini? Free you of the constrictions that you have through unexpected choices. Free you of the constrictions and restrictions that you have on your personality by unexpected choices and decisions. Like, for example, I'm getting this analogy of someone being drunk while they're at the bar, and that opens up their personality to acquire new friends and show the authentic version of them out to other people. It's situations like that that are going to happen, where you're going to acquire new friends this season, and that is why we must open up to other people. That is why we must open up to other characters and be nice and show them the golden pieces of yourself, the cherished pieces of yourself, the valuable and worthy pieces of yourself to them, to acquire them as friendships. What I feel Yahweh is doing is making you a blessing to be received by other people, because you are a blessing underneath all of this nonchalant behavior and meanness. You are a very good person to have around someone. So that makes me want to, okay, they're telling me to stay out your business, because I was going to look up and see, why are we like this when we're such a good person? But I was told to stay out of your business. So I'm going to leave that there. But Yahweh is making you a blessing to be received. And it's a specific person that is out in the crowd of your environment that needs to be your friend, because you are the blessing that they need in order for them to be well this season. In order for them to call this Gemini season a good season for them, they need you as a friend. And that's why you're being called to open up. What else for Gemini in Gemini season? I don't know. Usually I count those as tower moments, but this is like a trickle. This is your cup being poured over. You're being called to not indulge, to not partake, to be left without your authority. I mean, your strength and authority. Your position to call things into manner, to call things into fruition. And it is because of this Nine of Wands here. The Nine of Wands is a card of typically being one outside of the normal. Yeah. Open the door.
Supreme or meat lovers?
Meat lovers. Okay. So you are being called to, well, the reason why you're being called to not, and I can't really say it's not interacting, because with this depiction, I'm picking up that you're the people down here. And it's more so a being left without. Like, for example, how would this position work? How would this position work? Lord, how would this position work? From a controller's standpoint and point of view. Because you're being called to be left without, to miss out. That's what it is. You're being called to miss out on the authority position, to not be the one to tell people what to do, where to go, or how to be. And this is because of fear. This is because of an isolated fear that you have, a fear that makes you isolate from others. What is this fear? What is this fear? Nine of Wands, the Eight of Wands reversed. I hate my Eight of Wands card. A lot of people say it's things coming in or fruition or fast movement and fast action, but I never picked that up from this card other than an incoming, a stampede. But this in a reverse would be a stalling of something. You have some type of fear of telling other people what to do. You have some type of fear of telling other people what to do. And it makes you stall. This is like some type of paralyzing fear. This is backed by the Four of Swords. The reason why you're being called to miss out on the authoritative positions is because you want to rest your fear of being the one in authority and being the responsible one. Because with being the responsible one comes a lot of, with being the responsible one, it comes a lot of, what do you call it? What do you call that? with being responsible comes a lot of responsibility. It comes a lot of taking care of other people, making sure things are fine and okay, making sure that no one is hurt or harmed, making sure that everyone is in receiving a good quality experience and having a good time. You're fearful of, it's a real paralyzing fear that causes you anxiety. And this is any time that you are left with the ultimate choice of what people should do. You're being called to miss out on those experiences, to pass them off somehow, some way, or just say no to them overall. And not really pass them off, just say no. Just say no to being the deciding factor. And that's what it is, the one that decides what happens to others in the group. It's a lot of questions and a lot of responsibility that comes with that, being the deciding factor person. And you're being called to miss out on those experiences in order to do what? In order to leave the place that you are in. I feel that you have gotten angry in life because you have been able to be blamed for a lot of things. And you wouldn't have been blamed for those things if no one decided to let you be the one who picked them. So you're angry when it comes to other people because you don't want to be picked to be the one that decides on what to do. You don't want to be the responsible one because it has led to a lot of situations that did not work out or were negatively harmful or impactful or was a negative experience because you made the choice and it turned out to be not a good choice for every single one or every single body. In order for you to leave having this anger that makes people not want to be your friend, you have to stop being the deciding factor. Well, stop being the authority in life. You have to let that go. What I feel is happening as I'm going through these readings for the season is that God is taking his power, his position of control over everyone's life. He is taking his position of control over a lot of people's lives. And because he is taking his position of control, he is moving people out of the way of being an authoritative position in their lives. Or, sorry, an authoritative person in their lives. He's leading people out of the way. What else for Gemini and Gemini season? 10 of Cups. Look at that. There we go. Hermit at the bottom of the deck. 10 of Cups and 4 of Cups. There's happiness at the end of the road for us. There's a joyful destination. As long as we go within and receive the downloads that we need to receive. As long as we are operating off of our intuition, there is a very wonderful, blissful experience that will happen for us towards the end of Gemini season. But that only comes once we are operating off of our intuition. So whenever your gut tells you to do something this season, you really, really want to do it. 1919, as I say that, look up those angel numbers. I'll always use Joanne. So I just searched like 1919 angel number Joanne, and I clicked the first one because it's always Joanne's Sacred Scribes or something like that. Excuse me. But you guys have to know that By you listening to your intuition and going with your gut feeling, you're going to have a very beautiful experience this season. And it comes towards the end of Gemini season. You're going to be able to, well, will we be able to look back and self-reflect and say, well, you should, yeah, you should be able to look back and self-reflect and say that it was a good season. But it's going to happen differently from what you expect. With the star card in the reverse, it's going to happen differently from what you expect, and it's going to be a lesson that you need to learn, that when God is in control, things always work out well. So Gemini, for Gemini season, you need to relinquish your authoritative position to God. Let him be in control and open up yourself to the world and become a more and become friends with more people. You have to allow others in. That's what's going on for Gemini within Gemini season. If you want to book a personal reading with me or see more tarot, all of that information is, as always, in the description below. So go ahead and check that out by clicking the title. And while you're there, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm feeling led to pull one more oracle card just for the overall gist of this reading. And we got completion in the reverse. Number 9. Let's see, what are we led to read? So it says, clinging to the old form will bring only decay. When fruit is left too long on the vine, it rots. You know that it's time to move on, yet are reluctant. Do not be afraid of hurting anyone's feelings. Remember that you are responsible for your actions, not the actions of others. Ooh, if this ain't all that we just talked about, I don't know what is. Mourn what is lost so you can move on. Do not be sad. Be like the sun at midday who shines brightly, neither longing for sunrise nor dreading the dusk. So this anger that I feel, though, is a part of your nature, which is why it has a bunch of animals here. So you can't really get rid of that, and it's a part of your birth chart. This, to be angry towards situations of you being the one that is responsible and you being the one that is in control all the time. You don't want to be responsible of other people. That's why it says, remember that you are responsible for your actions, not the actions of others. And of course, this is telling you to move on from being the person that is secluded, because it's something that I wanted to tell you guys about, like how if you stay a certain, like, well, blah. What I want to tell you is that it was 22:44 as I saw this. What I want to tell you is that sometimes there are some behaviors that we have exhausted, and we've reaped all of the benefits that we could reap from this experience of behaving this way. We are the person that we are. We is the person that we is. With you having a select friend group and not inviting any more people in, you've done all that you can do. There's no more left for this type of behavior. So it's time to move on into a new type of behavior, because if you stay in this behavior for too much longer, it will begin to hurt you. Life is about balance. Not having too much of one thing, not having too little of another thing. So you have to be in balance. And right now is the time for you to move forward and move on from the behavior that you have into a new behavior of being more open, letting more friends in, being more talkative to people, letting more people know about the true self that you are, because you are a true blessing and you will be a blessing to someone as long as you open up your doors and let somebody in to be a friend. So now that's all that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to book a personal reading with me or see more tarot, all of that information is, as always, in the description below. So go ahead and check that out by clicking the title. And while you're there, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Peace, love, and light. And as always, be great.